Hello, everybody. Today I'm talking about the 12 karmas signified by the 12 houses. So, how do we judge what karma we have inherited? Actually, Saturn is the lord of the karma, and therefore, Saturn will signify where Saturn is in your chart, that what karma specifically that you have to deal with in this life. This class is a 1 hour long lecture that I gave at Shivananda Yoga Farm to their teacher training students. And so it is basically aimed at beginner students, but I think all of you can understand it and learn from it. And it is important to know that Saturn's position is the key one to look at. And so let us explore. Hello, I'm Komilla Sutton, and today I'm talking about 12 karmas signified by the 12 houses. Do remember to subscribe, press the bell notification. So when we are looking at the 12 karmas, we study where Saturn is placed in each house and understand it. So this is quite a detailed lecture. So I will let you listen to it. Thank you.
So we're very happy this morning to welcome Komilla Sutton. She's joining us from her home. And she's a Jyotishi, which means she's an expert in Vedic astrology, which is a little bit different than Western astrology. She's also a very great teacher and promoter in both Britain and here in North America of it, and runs conferences and helped for many years run the conference here. We used to have a Vedic astrology conference every year here. For 20 years we did it. And she's going to speak to us this morning about the different karmas that we use. Okay. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya, Swamiji. It's very nice to be here and to be part of the conference. So, welcome to all of you TTC students. You are here. I have lectured many, many years to the TTC students, and it is so nice to be here again. And Swami Gyaneshwara and everybody at the ashram. I am missing you all, and hopefully soon I'll be back again. I was there a few months ago when Swami Sita was there. So today, this is the topic I've been given, and so I'm going to talk about the 12 karmas signified by the 12 bhavas. And this photograph that I've got is of Lord Saturn. And Lord Saturn, he is the lord of karma. So I thought I should have him here, Saturn. And also today is Saturday, which belongs to Saturn. And I don't know if you can see me, I'm dressed in black, which is the color of Saturn, especially for today. Yeah, you can see a little bit. And so we're honoring him as the Lord of the Karma. And this is me. And my website is komilla.com if you want to know more about me. And I'm actually been studying Jyotish since 1979 and teaching since the 90s. So I have a long experience, and I'm a great follower of the Shivananda tradition. I've been coming to the ashram for, I think, over 20 years. And this is actually at the ashram. There is a Navagraha temple there. And a few years ago, they had, before COVID, I think, the puja there here. And this is Lord Saturn, this in blue color. and all the 9 planets are here. You can go and see it's where I'm sure you have some meetings there, and this where all the 9 planets are there. So today being Saturn's day, I'm going to just do the chanting for Saturn, and I'll do it 3 times, and you can then follow me 3 times as well. It's just simple. Om Shaniye Namaha. 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 And then I'm going to do the longer chant for Saturn, Shani Mantra. And I'll do 2 lines, and then I'll do it again, and you can follow me just once. Om Neelanjana Samabhasam Ravi Putram Yamagrajam. Om Neelanjana Samabhasam Ravi Putram Yamagrajam. Chayamaratanda Sambhutam. Chayamaratanda Sambhutam. Tam namami Shanishcharam. Tam namami Shanishcharam. So basically, this chant is just honoring Saturn, describing him, and at the end it says Tam namami Shanishcharam. So I say the name of Shanishchara. So that is all what is saying. So today we are talking about the 12 karma signified by the 12 houses. And so I'm teaching you Jyotisha, and Jyoti means light, Isha means God. It can be translated as the science of light or wisdom of heavens, God of light. Light banishes darkness. The light of knowledge dispels ignorance. So Jyotisha is the name, more we call it Vedic astrology, but really the correct name is Jyotisha, because what we are learning, it is throwing light on our karma. So that is the important things. Jyotisha helps us to understand the strengths and weaknesses within us, what we bring to this life, the karma we bring to this life, as well as the times we live in. Sometimes, the karma of the times is also very complicated, but that is not my subject today. But we have to learn. But how do we know all this? It is through Jyotisha, through Vedic astrology, we can understand. So karma and Jyotish, a chart of the birth represents how our past life karma is influencing us now, what karma we need to fulfill in this lifetime. So it is not just the past life karma, but how to deal with it, to burn it off. It's not that easy to do it, and that is where yoga comes in. And you are very blessed because you are doing the TTC, the traditional yoga through Shivananda, that is teaching you how to understand and pay back your karma, something that you're automatically doing without realizing. So the idea is that soul within us is divine, yet our life is colored by planets. So the soul's nature becomes obscured by planets at birth, as well as planets that influence us through transits. So what is happening is that our vision is not clear, because I know I'm wearing glasses, but it's all hazy. And depending on how much karma we bring in, the more confused we are, because everything is not clear to us. And through the path of yoga, we are actually purifying our vision through understanding the planets. We are improving our way to understand ourselves. That is the most important factor. So what is karma? I know you have already studied it, but all incarnating souls bring karma from past lives to this life. Actually, that is why you are reborn. If you didn't have any karma to finish, you won't be reborn. What this karma is shown by the birth chart itself. Strengths and weaknesses of planets, the houses they rule, occupy, everything in the birth chart is represents the karma. However, I'm going to focus on just one area that you can understand. So karma is action, both past and present lives, and all actions have a reaction. Actions of previous life must be dealt with now. But what we must also understand is that actions of our present life also have consequences. Therefore, if we understand that, we are able to learn how to manage our karma, our karma that is going to affect us in the future. So the 3 levels of karma. Sanchita, this is a collected karma that we cannot do anything about. It is collection from many lifetimes according to the Vedic concept, but you can also think that what you did yesterday or even this morning cannot be changed. It's already done. So it's things that have already been done that we cannot do anything about. Prarabdha karma is the happening karma, what we have to face in this life. So this is quite key because we have to face the karma in this life. And then the third karma is kriyamana karma, the present actions that become sanchita of the future. Kriyamana karma is also known as agami karma. But you see, what the main aspect of karma is that there is certain collected karma that is not changeable. We can rectify it by our actions, but in the sense we can try to burn it off. Prarabdha karma, out of that, we are going to get some tests in life that we have to deal with, many opportunities as well. It's all not negative, but the main aspect is that how are we going to react to that situation? When we are faced with situations, what is our actions? Because those actions are going to become the sanchita of the future. That means that's going to become the karma we have to deal in the future. So when you're thinking about what your plan of action is, how you're going to live your life, it is a good idea to contemplate, and especially making important decisions. Life should always be thoughtful and to take your time to make a decision and decide what you're going to do. So Saturn is the lord of the karma. His house position in the birth chart tells us the main karma we need to deal with. Saturn makes us deal with karma so that we can pay it off while we live. So this photograph again is of Lord Saturn from the ashram. He's there very much so in the Navagraha. He is the deity that is facing the temple. So when you go there, you can see. So what is important about Saturn is that Saturn was given the role to make us account for our karma by Lord Shiva. So that rather than waiting that at the time we die, then Yama and he takes account of what karma you have done. Why wait for that long? You have this very precious life, and you can deal with the karma, and you can resolve your issues. Maybe not everything. We are obviously humans, and we everybody can't resolve everything. But as you start being conscious of this and paying off, I think Swami Sita says, burning off our karma. We are burning our karma. That means that this life is very precious, and we are making sure that this is the thing we are doing. So, how to recognize this, and what are the things that we have to look at in life? And in the houses that we study in the astrology chart, I know you're not astrologers, so I'm keeping it as simple as I can. And it can be something you may tomorrow decide to learn a little bit more about astrology, so that you can understand your rest of your things. But because it's a sister science to yoga, so it's something that you can be specialized in yoga and you can learn a bit more. So Bhava Chakra, Bhava means houses, and it also means an expression. So Bhava Chakra is our natal chart, an expression of our life through the wheel of time. The Bhavas are houses in the chart which show various areas of life and what we experience. While the whole chart represents our karma, Saturn is the main dispenser of karma. So that means that we are conscious where Saturn is in our chart. And that would be the specific karma that we have to deal with in our birth chart. Then there is other aspects, it's very complicated, but a very straightforward and clear way to look at is where Saturn is. So there are 12 houses, and you have the Tanu Bhava, first house. It's about self. It's also called Lagna and ascendant. Dhana Bhava, second house, which is to do with wealth. Bhratru Bhava, third house, brothers, siblings. Matri Bhava, fourth house, mother. Putra Bhava, fifth house, son, children. Ari Bhava, sixth house, enemy. So Jaya Bhava, seventh house, wife, husband. Ayu Bhava, eighth house, age, longevity. Dharma Bhava, ninth house, spirituality. Dharma, you must have studied Dharma already. Karma Bhava, 10th house, action, work. Labha Bhava, 11th house, profit. And Vyaya Bhava, 12th house, expenses, loss. So then, these houses also are connected to the four aims of life. So Purusharth, their four aims of life are called Purusharth. What is the meaning of the essence of why you are here? Purusha means man, Artha means meaning or essence. So man, woman, as in mankind. Purushartha are the four aims of life. So each of the incarnating souls has four aims of life. And these four aims of life are dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. All of us, we are actually, the first three aims are the main ones. And then when we get those right, we find the fourth aim. So dharma, its motivation is virtue. Doing the right thing, following the laws of nature. I just put one word. Artha is wealth creation, but Artha is also meaning of life. It can deal with politics. It can deal with, all our worldly things that we have to do. Kama is pleasure. It's about creativity. It's about art, artistic nature, relationships. And moksha is liberation. It's about self-realization. It's about letting go of all these things. So basically, Dharma is the most important. It's the number one aspect of all our lives. And especially when we are thinking about karma and burning of karma, following the life of dharma is most important. Doing the right thing, not compromising, following the laws of nature, word of guru. Lots of things come under dharma, but doing the right thing, what is right for you, is most important. So these purusharths are also connected to houses. We have dharma houses 1, 5, and 9, artha houses 2, 6, and 10, kama houses 3, 7, and 11, moksha houses 4, 8, and 12. You see, just one thing I wanted to add here, that you see that we are talking about 12 houses. All of us, we live in 12 months of the year. So these houses are divisions of the sun. They're not just arbitrary that we have created 12 houses. There are 12 different aspects of life. And I don't have enough time in the lecture today to explain to you how each house represents, but some of the significant houses I will talk about for you and to explain them as we go along. So the first house, it's also known as Lagna, rising and ascendant. Tanu means body. It's also about self, and it's the most important house. Now, Saturn shows a major karma to deal with, whose blocks we can experience intensely unless we learn how to deal with it. So if you have Saturn in your first house, now how do we get the first house? So whenever you're doing a chart, you give your date, time, and place of birth, a date and year. So place of birth has a sign rising at the time you're born on the eastern horizon. And that becomes your lagna, also your first house. So therefore, if you were born in with Saturn in the lagna. So for example, at present, Saturn is in Capricorn. And if you were born at the time Capricorn was rising, then Saturn would be in Capricorn in your lagna, and you would need to deal with it. And it is almost giving you a signature that you have a major karma to deal with. Often people don't realize that is, it is more like old karma and these things, but how they express them itself is more as if they're always working, always taking responsibility. So you always feel that burden of responsibility on your shoulders. But if you have Saturn in the first house, it is important to be conscious that you're not just working wastefully, but you're doing the right type of karma as well. Work, in modern speak, karma just means action, but it's way bigger than that. So we have to think about that. So its first house is also a dharma house. Dharma house is doing a dharma is key aspect of learning to burn off the karma and the restrictions Saturn imposes. Following a path of dharma is a crucial way to deal with our karma. You see, first house being house of dharma, that means each one of us are born to do a dharma. And dharma has got a general dharma way and then specific dharma according to your family, life, circumstances. There are some specific dharmas as well. But I like to think of doing the right ethical thing, not compromising, following the path. So this is really important aspect, that the first house is the dharma house. Therefore, regardless of what your ascendant is, whether you have Saturn or not in the lagna, the dharma is important and to pay off your karma. But if you have Saturn there, then you have to be really conscious of that and to be aware of it. second house is called Dhana Bhava, second house. Dhan means wealth. And this is not just wealth of mind, wealth of money. It's wealth of mind, temperament, money. Nowadays we have wealth, we think it's just money wealth, but wealth can be, your ability, your good thinking, your ability to get the good support. And generally, this when we talk about dhan in India, there's a word called dhan dhanya, and this is wealth and food. So they are your wealth. In traditional societies, food was an important aspect. So your wealth was decided how much money you have, not by how much money you have saved, but how much food and the quality of food you could eat. Saturn in the second house shows karma with our wealth, what we inherit. So sometimes, we can our attitude to wealth can be blocked, or we can feel greedy, or we feel we are not having enough. And I would think that it is good to be happy with what you have. We are all privileged and we have enough. But karma with food is really interesting. Eating the wrong type of food can be a karmic inheritance too. You see, at the ashram, they are very careful to feed you with proper food. It's not too spicy. It is natural. It's organic. It's, so sometimes, when we are eating fast food, and even though you can have a lot of money in your bank, according to the Vedic system, you're poor because you're eating the wrong type of food. There's a blessing that is given that, may God give you the right food to eat, because the food is also the energy, and it also represents our thought process, and it has a huge influence. So eating food that is natural, that is seasonal, that is healthy, and not overspice, because overspice will agitate your mind. But Saturn in the second house is not to be taken negatively, just showing you that this is an area you need to fix and work with. Bhratru Bhava, third house. Bhratru means brother. Third house is related to brothers, siblings. It is also the house of deliberate self, ego, and initiative. Saturn in the third house shows karma with siblings. Definitely, you will feel some kind of responsibility towards them. Also need to express restraint in our actions and not allow the ego to control us. Very often we say, I did this, I am doing everything. And so third house is showing that this is an area that you need to work on. Fourth house is Matru Bhava. This is significant placement for Saturn. Matru or Matri means mother. Mother reflects our previous karma. The kind of mother we have, our relationship with her are all part of past life. A good maternal blessing is part of a good maternal relationship is part of our blessing. Saturn in the fourth house brings challenges to our relationship with mother. Now, if you have a challenging relationship with mother, you have to think about that she represents something that was from your past life. So it is important to honor your relationship with your mother and try to resolve it. And otherwise, that is why we pray to Divine Mother, because Divine Mother is like a bigger mother, so we can put our thoughts and love to the Divine Mother as well. Fourth house also represents our mind and happiness. Saturn will bring karma with lack of peace of mind, worry, anxiety. It can also make us feel unhappy. practicing positive thinking is very important. I think there are many classes that, excuse me. There are many classes that Shivananda does in the morning for positive thinking, but it's also, there are techniques of how to practice it. The point to understand is that the chart is something that you have inherited, but we can learn techniques of how to work with it, what to do. So, but if you have these things, then you have to practice aspects of life. So, fourth house is a moksha bhava. And Saturn in the fourth house wants us to pay off our karma first, then allow us to move to moksha. What happens is that people automatically assume that because fourth house is moksha, therefore it is going to give us self-realization. No, it shows the blocks to self-realization. The desire of planets in the fourth house is to self-realize. But if you have, say, Saturn there, his message is very clear. Pay off your karma, then you can move towards moksha. Moksha doesn't come instantly. You've got to, burn your karma. You have to make an effort to it. And then automatically over time, you are getting more and more self-realized. You may not get that perfect state of self-realization, but you are getting more and more self-realized. Fifth house is called Putra Bhava. Putra means son. Putra means son, similar to man, representing mankind. So Putra Bhava essentially indicates children. Saturn in the fifth house shows karma with children. Sometimes it delays giving children or lack of children or lifelong sense of responsibility towards them. I'm sure all of you who have children, there's a full-time responsibility. But Saturn is sort of a greater pressure telling you that there is more responsibility than you think. Fifth house is also the house of Purva Punya. Purva Punya is good deeds. It's not deed. Let me just replace that because good deeds of past life. Purva means past and Punya means good deeds. So good deeds of past life are coming here to bless us. So one of the good deeds is through children. Second is through mantras, through spiritual, through your deity, your personal deity. But Saturn placed here can block the Purva Punya because he can say, he can make you do double up the thing. So you can feel the lack of good luck sometimes, but following a dharmic path allows us to open these channels again. I found this even in my personal life because I have my fifth house blocked. And when I started studying Jyotish, and not by Saturn, but by other aspects as well, I started, following a dharmic path. I started following yoga. I started doing all the proper, way of life. And then all the luck is just flowing. And luck, I don't mean, again, money luck. It's all the opportunities and good things that come in life. So therefore, it's not, if for some reason you feel that your luck is blocked or you feel that's not coming to you, you can think about what are your lifestyle choices, what are the spiritual things you can do. I'll give some remedies at the end of the class as well. And fifth house is also one of the dharma houses. That means doing the dharma is going to release this energy. Sixth house is called Ari Bhava. This is the house of our weaknesses, that need to be dealt with. Ari means ungenerous, malicious, not devoted. It also means means 6. Ari means enemy of mankind, usually referred to the 6 instincts that keep us attached to the materialistic purpose of life. These instincts can become our weakness, create imbalances that are responsible for our ill health as well. In sadhana chatushtaya and yoga, they talk about the 6 wealths. That means that there is a remedy to fix these weaknesses. The 6 aris are Kam, Krodha, Madha, Lobha, Moha, Matsarya. Kam means desire, passions. These are uncontrolled desires, uncontrolled passion. Krodha is anger. Madh is intoxicants, drugs, alcohol. Moh is attachment. Lobh is greed. And Matsarya is jealousy. These are the 6 weaknesses. We may not have all of them. We may have certain area. You all know yourself, and intoxicants also can be just you can get intoxicated by things, not necessarily drugs and alcohol. So that can, you can get unnecessarily, I suppose, attachment is not just to people, but to things as well. So these weaknesses are part of what we are trying to address, so that they are not blocking our path to self-realization. So Saturn in the 6th house is actually quite positive. He encourages us to deal with them. He's regarded as well placed in the 6th house only if you are dealing with yourself, you are learning to overcome your obstacles. Personally, I feel Saturn is a very positive planet because he's the one who's encouraging us to deal with our issues. So even though we get upset and feel that he is creating obstacles, really it's for a good purpose, because in the end we are more encouraged by it. Then Jaya Bhava, 7th house. Jaya means woman, wife. It can mean, I would say, spouse or significant relationship. It deals with relationships, both personal and business, marriage, life's partners, the nature of life's attachments. So Saturn in the 7th house brings karma of relationships. It's not just, not having them, but it is challenging ones, responsibility of relationship, delayed marriage. Definitely, if you have Saturn in the 7th house, it is going to delay the relationship, and there is always some challenge connected to the relationship area. Sometimes, one can easily move away from it. Why Saturn in the 7th creates karma of relationship is also because Saturn wants you to move away from the attachments. He wants you to be, single and follow the path of self-realization, which you cannot do in a relationship because you then get attached to the worldliness. I think it is really your choice what you want to do, but it is important to understand that will be something that you have to work with if you have Saturn in the 7th house. 8th house is called Ayu Bhava, and it represents the lifespan. And so 8th house is the house which we see how long we are going to live. This is one of the things that Jyotish was always strong on, but I never look at how long somebody is going to live. But my main concern is that however long we live, we should use our life well so that we can pay off our karma. It is the house of transformation from material to spiritual, from this to another. Usually 8th house brings unexpected transformation and create an unsettled life. But the main aspect to understand is that our lifespan is precious, so we must use it properly. And 8th house has another role. It shows Nija dosha. And Nija dosha is a personal weakness from past lives that need to be dealt with now. So these personal weaknesses that we have created, and the biggest problem with past life is that we don't remember what we did. It is something that is already done, and now we are dealing with it. But Saturn in the eighth house, or any planet actually in the eighth house, can highlight the Nija dosha. So we need to lead a life of selflessness to pay off the old dosha, and also to understand that there is some karma to be paid off. That was created by ourselves. There's a specific aspect. So this can become a secret weakness in this lifetime. But as we learn to pay it off, then, we become empowered by it. Ninth house is called the Dharma house. Dharma is spirituality, ethics, but it also indicates your duty to your soul, mankind, and society, your philosophical bent of mind, and also your spiritual destiny. The ninth house is the house of positive Sanchita karma, positive Prarabdha karma. It's the house of the father and the guru. So you see, the main role of the guru was to show you your dharma and to enlighten that. And in the traditional societies, father was the first guru. And up to a certain age, he guided you, and then you were sent to the ashram to be with the guru, who then guided you. These traditional aspects are not there. Of course, you are at the ashram just now, and you are learning about the guru and to follow the path of knowledge. And the guru itself is light. So the ninth house is light. However, if you have Saturn in the ninth house, it teaches you lessons about dharma, at times not doing it, not listening or getting the right advice, struggling to gain your own wisdoms, as there is a tendency not to listen to your guru or advisors. So what Saturn in the ninth house thinks, which is okay, maybe not okay, but it thinks, I know better, and I should learn. Therefore, what happens is that when you have a guru, they will tell you, don't do this, and you listen and you avoid a lot of life struggles. But if you have Saturn there, sometimes you think, maybe the guru is not right. I must learn this myself. And I must make my own mistakes, and then I learn and I'll remember. So I think that is quite okay to learn from your own lessons. But, you can also open yourself to learning from the guru, from your father, from people who have already experienced some life and knowledge, and they are passing it on. So don't discount it, just thinking that all is for me. Then 10th house is called karma bhava. Karma literally means action. Every action we take in this life, past and future lives, is our karma. Here, karma suggests actions we take in the world which will affect our future. This is the most important thing, that the action we take now is going to affect our future. Therefore, take it positively. And also, it affects status and position in this life. Karma bhava indicates action we undertake to pay off our karma. You see, the reason karma bhava was given the name is that these were actions to pay off our karma. Nowadays, we think it's a job house, what job we do, what work we do. But I think that traditionally, the jobs we did, it was important to know that that was paying the bills, karma to your children, to your family, to your parents, to your society, the taxes you pay, that is also karma to the society. So you had to do the job because you feed your family, you feed yourself. So these are all kind of important things of action you do. And new actions we do, which is karma for our future. Saturn in the 10th is powerful as long as we are mindful of using our actions to deal with our responsibilities, keeping a light karmic footprint so that we do not have too much karma to deal with in the future. It doesn't mean not doing anything, but it means that you are, understanding that you have to do the right thing. Just accumulating power or wealth or trying to hold on to those things. I think none of you want that, but people want it. And then people go to extreme levels to do that. So I think that is, a light karmic footprint. This is what you should be thinking, that how do I do that and how to work with it. Then the 11th house is Labha Bhava. Labha means profit. Profit shows how we profit from life. Profit does not mean only in monetary terms, but spiritual profit as well. Saturn in the 11th shows we face karma regarding our profits. We can be greedy, think we are not getting enough, whether financial or spiritual. We must learn the lesson. Sometimes we can be spiritually greedy too. I want more, more, more. You have to learn the satisfaction, contentment about whatever you're doing. You have to learn that lesson. And the 12th house is a Vyaya house. Vyaya means loss, expenses. It's the house of loss, decrease, wastage, and decay. It's a moksha bhava. Saturn in the 12th can make us careful with our losses, but there is karma to pay off before we can move towards moksha. So you see, the main message of karma is that unless we deal with karma and we learn to burn off our karma, we are not able to find moksha and self-realization. So once we go on the path of karma, then that self-realization is possible for us. So 12th house is the last life where we merge with the infinite, merge the individual consciousness with the eternal. Here, the loss does not only represent loss on purely physical terms, but also understanding the truths about giving us our individual identity, learning about physical isolation, working with astral energies. 12th house is also house of ashram, So Saturn in the 12th can help you to go in a more ashram spiritual environment where you can then understand that the loss of letting go of our ego. So I think that is the important thing. Now, 12th house is the moksha bhava. But to get moksha, we have to first pay our dues. We can't just have a fast track to moksha. I think that is the main lesson. So, what is, in my view, most important is that what are you going to do about all this? About, you've got Saturn there, you have a birth chart, you have issues. So Phaldipika says, Phaldipika is one of the very important books on astrology, that planets, because remember, all the planets represent our karma, but Saturn in specific. The planets are favorable to those who do not commit acts harmful, injurious to others, exercise self-control, always follow the path laid down by the Shastra. So Shastras are the texts, spiritual texts that are guiding us. And the gurus are really guiding us to do that. And always observing dharma. I think that, exercising self-control is very important, because we need to do that restraint, self-control. So some of the things is that we have to think about is to pay off our karma. When we learn about karma, we also need to know how to pay off our karma. So path of yoga, I would say, that is the premier path of yoga. You are learning not just the physical yoga, that is, you are learning the 8 paths of yoga. You're learning all sorts of great secret information through the study of yoga and TTC, and hopefully you'll be coming again and again to learn more and more. And then karma yoga is the most crucial aspect of yoga. You do karma yoga at the ashram, but when you go outside ashram also, it is selflessness, not expecting rewards for what you do, and always thinking that what is the karma yoga that I can do? What is it that I can give back to the society, to your family, to everybody, not just what I can take. So I highlighted that, and donation, sadhana, lots of practices that are there that you can do. So that is it for today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening. And I hope you found this lecture very useful, and I'll be posting lots more. Thanks very much. Do remember to subscribe,